I'm Aaron Walter, and I'm the youth pastor and associate priest here at St. Thomas Church. Welcome to the St. Thomas Video Podcast. This is episode number 17, and we're asking people the question, what's up with you and God these days? You're going to hear from Julie Spanbauer, who has discovered some hidden blessings during this time in her life. Hope you're blessed.
The COVID pandemic has affected all of us. I feel pretty confident making that statement. For some of us, it had a dramatic impact involving job loss, serious illness, and worst of all, the loss of a loved one. For others, it involved minor inconveniences, such as a disruption in the way we worked or went to school, more regulated trips to the store, no toilet paper, and of course, not being able to see our family and friends. And while the pandemic has been hard, it also gave me a gift. You see, like many of you, I was living my life at the speed of sound, working full-time, volunteering, running to meetings, and of course, socializing with family and friends. People would often say to me, "You need to learn to say no." But honestly, most of the time, I didn't really want to say no. I loved volunteering, learning new things, meeting new people, going here, going there, and just generally socializing and fellowshipping with my friends. But underneath it all, I longed for more quiet time to spend with God, reading, studying, meditating, and praying. I kept telling myself, someday I'll have more time. Someday my job won't be so demanding. Someday I won't have so many commitments, but I never managed to find someday. Until boom, COVID hit and the world as we knew it changed in a flash. So now really, no excuse. While I was still going to work every day, I had plenty of time in the evenings to devote to my desire to know Jesus on a deeper level and to find the peace that was missing from my life. My first opportunity to dive in was offered right at the beginning of the shutdown by our very own Bobby Kraft, the vicar of St. Barnabas the Encourager in Swamico. She posted an opportunity on Facebook to share Compline with herself and others each night. I had always found comfort in the Order of Compline and thought, this will be a great way to settle in at night, relax, quiet down, and begin what I referred to as my quiet study time. It would help me wind down and put me in the presence of God. This was also, ironically enough, my first exposure to that crazy thing called Zoom. Who knew what a big part that piece of technology would be playing in our lives still today? So I downloaded the app and off I went. I found a huge peace in reading Compline each night, fellowshipping on Facebook with the group, and sometimes I read it alone, out loud, to my dog. This set the tone for me to continue my studying. In my rush life of the past, I did manage to read each day the writings of the Daily Bread devotions, but I never allowed myself time to actually read the Bible verses for that day. So with my extra time, I began doing that and giving lots of thought to the words that these authors were sharing with us and studying God's word in the Bible. I also found time to read some books that had been sitting on my shelf for quite a while. While some of them I had read in the past as kind of a gloss over, I really wanted to dive in, study, and most importantly, journal as I read, something that I hadn't done since I was in college. The other gift that the COVID experience provided for me was extra time that I had to spend with my canine companion, Henry. If you can remember back, you'll recall that God gave us a beautiful fall in the fall of 2020 and an easy winter. And Henry and I spent hours walking around our neighborhood, reflecting on God's beauty, and meeting and greeting neighbors that I had never really taken the time to get to know. And this was another way to connect with God and give me more quiet time. I know that in my previous lifestyle, I would have wished for this time, but I seriously doubt that I would have ever taken it. It would have been a quick run home from work, let the dog out, and on to yet another activity. But while I knew this was a precious time, I didn't realize how much of a blessing it would be until I lost my sweet Henry in January. The hours we spent together will always be a cherished gift for me. So as you've probably figured out by now, the gift that I received was time, or rather, I should say, the ability to use the time given to me to grow closer to God and to study and learn. I had yearned for this for years, and I can honestly say I'm grateful that I am able to be living that out. We are all given the same amount of time each day. It's just a matter of how we choose to use it. So of course, now the challenge becomes how to balance and maintain this as we go through yet another change in lifestyle. Things are opening up, and there are more opportunities to be distracted. As was touched on in the sermon commentary this past Sunday, how do we return to what we once considered normal? And do we really want to return to exactly what we knew and lived before? This will be a struggle and a challenge for some of us. Knowing myself as I do, I know it'll be a huge challenge for me. I already find myself running more than I had been and having to make more choices. I pray daily for God to show me what He has planned for me, and I pray that I'm able to discern His will for me and not my will for me. I can already feel myself getting anxious at the possibility that I will have to miss out on some activity and being torn between my quiet time and other obligations that I don't want to miss. As I ponder the question that was presented, what's up with you and God? I can confidently say we are in a good place. There are many joyful things going on in my life, and I have been hugely blessed. We know that God doesn't change. It is we who change and wander and let distractions steer us away from Him. My prayer for all of you as we navigate this changing world is that you are able to find your peace and comfort zone in this new environment and in your walk with Christ. God bless you all.